Welcome to This Explainer. What if I told you that building true wealth has absolutely nothing to do with your income? It sounds crazy, right? But today we're unpacking why 9 common habits completely prevent wealth, and we'll reveal a $100 investing secret that changes everything. We're going to look at exactly why you waste your money every single day and how to fix it. Let's get into it. Think of wealth like a boat. There's this golden rule of money. You don't get rich by earning more. You get rich by plugging the leaks. I mean, if you're sailing a boat with 10 holes in the bottom, pumping more water in, or in this case, pumping a bigger salary into your bank account, it's just not going to save it. You have to stop the bleeding first. We have to plug those leaks before we can even think about cruising toward financial freedom. So ask yourself this: what if the reason you aren't building wealth literally has nothing to do with your income? We're so conditioned to think, oh, if I just got that promotion, I'd be totally fine. But we actually need to shift our focus away from just making more money and point a massive spotlight at our daily routines. These are the bad habits where you're quietly, steadily losing cash without even realizing it. Section 1, your leaking financial boat and why you waste your money today. Let's look at the very first major leak, which happens right when you get your paycheck. So many of us are trapped in this really dangerous habit of paying ourselves last. You know the drill. You get paid, you pay rent, you buy groceries, you go out, and then, if there's some kind of miracle, you save whatever's left. But the reason paying yourself last fails literally 100% of the time is because of Parkinson's law. This law states that expenses expand to fill the money available. So if you give yourself $3,000 a month to spend, you're going to miraculously find a way to spend exactly $3,000. Give yourself 5,000. Poof, 5,000 disappears. By paying yourself last, you're practically guaranteeing that the money will vanish because it just naturally expands to meet your lifestyle. Okay, so here's how a savings plan actually succeeds. We've got to reverse the order. Step 1, get paid. Step 2, immediately move 10 to 20% of that money straight into your savings or investing accounts. Step 3, pay your bills and live on the rest. You have to pay yourself first. By just tweaking the sequence of where your money goes on payday, you're forcing your lifestyle to adapt to that remaining 80%. Honestly, you won't even notice the difference day to day, but your future self, they'll be absolutely blown away by the wealth you build. Moving on to Section 2, silent consumption habits, and the massive danger of the I deserve it mindset. Let's break down the shock math of these silent habits. A $5 daily coffee doesn't feel like a big deal, right? But that's $1,200 a year. What about ordering $20 takeout 3 times a week just because you're too tired to cook? That's almost $2,900 a year. And a $50 weekend bar tab? That's another $2,400. When you stack up all these small, seemingly justified little treats, you're looking at a massive $6,600 annual hole in your boat. That is wild. Now, get this. If you took that exact same $6,600 a year and invested it for 30 years at a 10% average market return, you'd have over $1.1 million. Yeah, you heard that right. That is a $1.1 million hole in your boat disguised as lattes, lazy dinners, and weekend drinks. Now look, we aren't saying you can never have fun or grab a coffee, but if it's not budgeted for, it's not a treat. It is literally a $1 million leak. So here are 5 ways to save your money and plug those leaks right now. First, save half of every raise you ever get. This totally stops lifestyle creep in its tracks. Second, actually budget for your treats so you can enjoy them guilt-free. Third, track every single dollar for the next 30 days. Seriously, you can't fix what you don't measure. Fourth, audit your bank statements line by line today. And fifth, cancel those unused ghost subscriptions that are quietly draining your cards every single month. Section 3. The illusion of safe money and why playing it safe is actually making you poorer. We're all taught that hoarding money in the bank is the ultimate responsible move, right? Well, your average savings account might pay you a tiny 0.5% in interest. Meanwhile, inflation is the silent monster eating 3 to 4% of your money's value every single year. That means your cash is losing roughly 2.5% of its purchasing power every year it just sits there. Now, your emergency fund should absolutely be in a safe, accessible, high-yield account. But any extra money left languishing in a regular bank account, it's quite literally rotting away. It's dying money. And speaking of money traps masquerading as responsible adulting, if you can't buy the car in cash, you can't afford it. Financing a depreciating asset like a car is for sure one of the absolute quickest ways to stay broke. A brand new car loses 20% of its value the absolute second you drive it off the lot. No joke. If you finance it, you're paying interest on something that is rapidly losing value every single day. Basically, you're paying more for something that is worth less. If you want to build real wealth, buy a reliable used car in cash and invest what would have been your car payment. Which brings us to Section 4, the secret power of $100. Let's uncover the secret power of early investing right now and look at the real mathematical cost of delaying your investments. Just look at the sheer scale of this number. $632,000. How do you actually get there? By investing just $100 a month. That's roughly 3 coffees a week. If you invest $100 a month starting at age 25 and earn a 10% average annual return over 40 years, it doesn't just add up. Thanks to the absolute magic of compound interest, it balloons to well over $500,000. It's incredible. So why delay your investment by 10 years? If you start that exact same $100 a month routine at 25, you get that sweet $632,000. But if you tell yourself you'll just wait until you're 35 to start, you only end up with $227,000. That is literally a $400,000 penalty just for waiting a decade to invest $100 a month. As they say, time in the market always beats timing the market. Starting small beats starting never. Section 5, the real secret to wealth and the mindset that changes everything. We've seen exactly why bad habits hold you back. Now, let's look at the winning mindset. At the end of the day, it all comes down to delayed gratification. You might remember that famous marshmallow test. Kids were told they could have 1 marshmallow right now, or if they just waited 15 minutes, they could have 2. The kids who could actually delay their gratification ended up having significantly better life outcomes, higher test scores, and way better financial health decades later. Building wealth isn't really about fancy, complex strategies or hitting the lottery. It's simply the ability to say not right now to the things you want today, so you can have the wealth, freedom, and life you really want tomorrow. So here's the ultimate question. Will you plug the leaks in your financial boat today, or are you going to let it sink tomorrow? You know the habits, you've seen the math, you know exactly why you waste your money every day. But honestly, none of this analysis matters unless you take action. Audit those subscriptions, start tracking your spending, and plug those leaks. Stop losing the game of money and start building your wealth today. Stay curious, and we'll catch you next time.